Welcome back, guys. Well, we're here back at the cabin and there's some chores to be done and adventures to be had. Come on and hang out with me. Well, today I'm out here in the field just taking a look at the trees that we have and making some plans for this year's planting of the trees and just sort of tidying up the property. As you can see behind me, the snow is basically melted out except for a few pockets and in the deep woods. So basically right now I just have my rubber boots on and I'm tromping around looking at things. Well, I'm dismantling my maple tree setup. So as you can see here, I've emptied out the 2 buckets. I had 2 more full pails right there. I'm just having them over there on top of the snow. I got to pile up some snow on top of them. But I'm gonna pop out these taps right now. And there really is no need to seal your holes after you pop the taps out. I'll just go get some instrumentation to do that, but no need to seal the holes. The tree will seal them and heal up naturally. I like to use the small 5/16 taps because it just means things heal a lot quicker and you're not doing as much damage to the tree. So how I usually get my taps out is I sort of use a hammer, the back of the claw, and I kind of little alley-oop and pull it out. There you go. Sap's still running, but I'm done for the year. So there's what the hole looks like. It's pretty small. It will seal up in no time. All right, well, here we are. No casualties. They are all intact, a little bit rough around the edges from pulling them out, but still ready to go for next year. I'm just going to have to bleach them out and store them. I mean, I've got tons of these around, but I will reuse my equipment. Just got to make sure it's all clean for next year. So over here I have the 2 buckets of sap. Found a fly in one, so I had to pluck that out. I'm going to pile some snow on top of them just to keep them cool while I'm here before I take them back to boil them down. Lost a few trees this year. This one was already kind of rotten and fell down right here and it fell across the trail. So I'm just busy cleaning up the trail right over there just in front of the cabin, and I'll have some further work to do in the bush a little later. So where I've done the cleanup, you can see that there's some kind of I don't know if this is a bee or some kind of a wasp. I'm not really sure. It looks kind of like a bee, but look at, it's feeding on the sap of the branch of this ironwood that I just cleaned up. So I'm going to leave this out there so they can get nourished. Obviously they are just starving and need some energy, so let's give that to them. Further on up the trail, another little tree is down here, but take a look. Nothing goes to waste out here in the woods. It looks like the rabbit has been by and is eating the inner bark of the tree. So lots of good nutrition there in a downed tree. Oh, the chippies are back, scavenging around looking for seeds. They hibernate and their temperature in their body gets really, really cold over the winter underground in their little tunnels. These guys emerge basically, I would say about last week or this week. The first time I've seen them here is today, so how cool is that? So I'm over in the field now. I just want to show you my jack pine. They're doing really well. These guys are a few years old, right there. And I'll just show you the cabin is right there. So I wanted to make an additional windbreak. So these jack pine will do the job. There's a whole bunch of them out here. I'm actually today going out and putting little pink flags where I planted them last time because I lost them in the field. Of course, the grass gets so tall, it's next to impossible to see them. And I really, really, really have to focus on cutting the grass down beside these little seedlings here because we don't want to have, you know, a competition with the nearby grasses. So we want them to grow to their very best potential. Over here, this was the ones from last year. They got hit really hard. I believe it was the sawflies had at them. In particular, we'll take a look at this one right here. It was just, the caterpillars were on here and just decimating it. So I had to manually pick off the caterpillars, saved a little bit of it. Unfortunately, this one I think succumbed to the caterpillars. As you can see, there's really no live growth on here anymore, so that's unfortunate. Next few weeks I'll be picking up my seedlings for this year's planting, my big planting event that I have every year here at the cabin. I like to give back to the land and plant trees. So I've got a lot of maple, a lot of sugar maple coming in my order this year, in addition to some shrubs. Probably a few more jack pine. I can't really remember my order. I basically put it in last fall, so it'll be kind of a surprise to me once I pick it up in a couple of weeks. It's always amusing to me here at the property, the little tiny holes you can see in the earth from all the moles and mice and all that kind of stuff over the winter. You can kind of see their little trails and dig holes all throughout the grass. There's a meadowlark. That's the first time I've ever seen one at the cabin. How cool is that? You can see here is the natural pine forest that we're basically encouraging to kind of keep growing here. Right now we're doing a little bit of thinning right here. And as you can see, there's what's got to come out. A lot of these guys are pretty close together, and that is detrimental for, getting diseases and things like that. So here we go. You can kind of see how it looks. The pine forest, like look how tall these trees are getting. It's incredible. So a lot of trees we have to kind of thin out just for good practices here. We'll probably leave some fairly close together in case we lose one or two here and there. There's quite a bit of white pine in here, but there's also juniper. And as you can see down here, there's some cedar too. So I want to leave some of those too for some biodiversity. If you take a look here, you can see there's already some growth coming up on this pine. So that's beautiful. These guys grow about 12 inches a year on the branches here. So each little node basically on these trees indicates a year of growth. So these are really nice looking trees, taller than me now. And I'll just show you over here. That's one of the parent trees right there. And in the back, that's the other one. And these are all naturally planted. Basically, little pine cones fall down and the trees come up. You remember last year I ended up with some stock. I hear the grouse over there. We'll go check it out after. You'll remember that I got some very large stalk of willow right here. So it's pretty tall. At first they were going to cancel the 50 million tree program that we have here in the province of Ontario. So a whole bunch of trees had to get repurposed, and they just wanted to get rid of a bunch. So I ended up with these huge weeping willows. They ended up dying off a bit. I think there's way too much heat stress on them. In the beginning, they were really large bare root stalks, so I'm not surprised I had a bit of dieback there. But so far, they've all survived. They're just taking a little bit of a hit due to heat stress and a little bit of drought last year. And like I said, they were very large bare root stock, so pretty challenging to keep up with their water needs here because basically they're on their own. I don't get there and water them every day. It's this basically got to take care of themselves. I know it's hard for you guys to see, and I'm kind of whispering, but straight through ahead, got the grouse. I'm going to see if I can get a close-up of him drumming. Got it. How cool was that? It took me forever, and I was holding my breath while I was trying to get the shot. Really hard. They're very suspicious around here, so he totally knew I was there. Of course, now he's jumped off the log, but he'll be back, that's for sure. Really cool. Just want to show you guys that my green onions are coming up. So I was just checking out my little garden here, and here we are. They're starting to sprout. So if we go down here, fresh growth. Isn't that amazing? I love my green onions. Wanted to show you a little tragedy of my garden here. This is the garden I have right in front of the cabin. And looking over here, it's this little spruce I planted many years ago. Looks like it died. Every year this isn't some tree casualties that we have, and this is one of them. My next job for the day is just to move the snowmobile. It's sitting right under the overhang here at the the shower house. So I'm going to put it back in the woods. I usually keep it covered during the rest of the season. So I'm going to go do that and put it away. Sad day. Back now, and I'm going to cover it up and get it ready. Basically, I'm going to summarize it and get it covered up. Well, it was a fun season. See you next year. All right, the task has been completed. I'm going to be camping out tonight in my canvas wall tent. That's one I made myself. It's a beautiful night here in the woods. Won't be filming while I'm camping. Going to have a peaceful night, but I just want to show you my setup. I'll catch you guys in the morning. So I spent the night last night in the canvas wall tent, and man, was it ever nice. Oh, I just love this tent. So you guys know I made this myself, including the little stove that's in it. So it's all set up. I have to do some measurements in there today because I want to start the mosquito screening for spring camping. Rained last night, and the canvas tent is still pretty dry. Things rolled off of it like water off a duck's back. So gosh, I love this tent. Can't say enough about it. There's my frame that I made myself. So here it is on the inside, and there's my little string of lights that kind of half fell down, but there's the back, side walls. These are all detachable, obviously. But it was a cool night last night. I don't know, down to -2 or something, I don't know. But it was really toasty in here. There's my little wood stove. Made this myself. It's totally sketchy, but works. And I just clipped a bit of that fiberglass fabric behind it and underneath it, so I wouldn't end up with a situation if the tent wall blew in a little bit. Got to figure something out there too. I think what I'm going to do is maybe put a few snaps there and put a few snaps on that front door, so I can just snap this on and cut it properly. But whatever, I just slapped it up for the night. There's some wood. Funniest thing, and I want to show you, I don't think he's here right now, but there was actually a frog that thawed out from the leaf litter. It was a wood frog. Woke up this morning to him hopping all over in the tent. So it was funny. I've never had that happen before. Well, I'll give it another month or so and black fly season will be here. And right now I do not have any screening other than the screens on the back windows. So there's a storm flap on there that rolls up and the windows will look out. But I don't have any screening in here. So where you see this sort of flap end right here and go all the way up, that area right here has to be screened in. Right there. So I think what I'm going to do is got no-see-um bug mesh, and I'm going to put maybe some strapping on it and some snaps, and I can snap in the mosquito black fly screening right in here, and then the beds will be kind of closer to the back. Like I've got lots of space there. I just kind of moved it up closer to the fire pit there, or the stove rather. So just have to start on that ASAP. Later I also might make screening for this entire front vestibule right here. But because I'm not really sure if the company that makes the screening is actually open, it may not be an essential business. I can't order it right now, I don't think. I'll look into it. But for now, I've got enough screening to do what I initially planned to do. After a cool night in my tent, take a look at that. Nice breakfast. Yummers. Another part of my task today is to take a peek at the wood duck house. So the wood duck house looks out over the bay, and got to get it ready for this season. So got to inspect it and get it ready. So when you look in there with the camera, you can see the nest material is pretty good, but there is actually a hornet's nest in there that's fallen down from the top of the nest cavity here. So that's okay. There's no live hornets in it. It was just from last year, so that'll biodegrade. Just out here at the bay, and you can see here that nice little break of sun here in the clouds, and the bay's still frozen. I'll just show you a quick aerial as to what it looked like this morning. Red winged blackbirds flying overhead. There's the busy work of the beavers over there. Don't see any activity right now. I haven't for a while. We'll see if they're back in the spring. Just want to show you something dangerous here in the ice. Here's a hole not too far from me. If you look down the hole, it's the bottom of the riverbed, so it pops down a few feet, so gotta be really careful around here. So here's a part of the bay that is open with a lot of runoff, and looks like there's been some otters or something eating here. The ice is pretty thick where I'm standing, but you gotta be really careful because a stream has opened up in the bay. Here's where they sit and eat. As you can see, there's lots of shells and poop. Here's the shells and the poop, a little close up there for you. So the river is alive. Just want to show you this really cool rock here on the shore. It's got some beautiful quartz in there, and if you can see here, this little black bit of rock here, and this is mica, and this mineral was actually used, I believe, as a really high heat tolerance, so it was used in applications that involved high heat. So how cool is that? There's a bunch of it in here actually. There's another little bit of it there and there and there. So a really special rock. Well, look who thawed out of the ice, had a rough winter. This is a little shrew, you can tell because his little nose is really pointy. It's a member of the rodent family. I don't see these guys too often. Sometimes in the field I'll see them scurrying around, but never one really up close, so there you go. Just back here over at the ice wall, and you can see it's melting out. You hear the water running in the background there. This is just a forest runoff, it's not a waterfall. Beautiful. The back of the bay, you can see a little stream here. It's really flowing really well. Just love the sound of the trickling water. Poking around some of the areas that are thawed out, and look at this. This is a freshwater sponge dried out on this rock. I think it's the first time I've ever seen one. How cool is that? Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed today's adventure, and we'll see you again next week. Take care.